I was thinking about the sports, tennis and badminton, and I was wondering why tennis players achieve much more fame and fortune than badminton players. I thought they're both racket sports, they both require a high degree of skill, dedication, training. Why is tennis so much more popular than badminton? And I was wondering what this was, and then I was thinking about football. And so I was wondering why football players achieve so much fame and fortune for playing what is essentially an unimportant game. Kicking a ball into a net is enough to achieve fame and fortune for many players, many men out there. And I was wondering why playing football and playing tennis could lead to so much fame and fortune for the men who play these things. And then I was wondering why the men who play badminton don't achieve so much fame as the men who play tennis. So what I'm realizing, I think, or the way I'm seeing it, I think, is that it doesn't matter what one does to achieve fame and fortune. It's really not important what the activity is. Kicking a ball into a net or hitting a ball over a net, completely unimportant activities, and they're not useful at all in any way. But what is important about these activities is that people want to watch these guys doing this thing. People want to watch football players. People want to watch tennis players. Not so many people want to watch badminton players. And that's just the way it is. And so what I'm realizing, or the way I'm seeing it now, is that it is really not important what one does for their careers. It could be said that hitting a ball over a net or kicking a ball into a goal can be seen to be a very strange activity to devote one's whole life to. It is crazy in a way to make kicking a ball into a net the center of your life, the focus of your life. But I'm thinking that it doesn't matter what one does for their career. It doesn't matter if the activity seems pointless or is pointless. What matters is that people want to see one playing football. They want to see one playing tennis. That is what is important. The effect on people and their interest in what you do, what one does. I think it is fascinating that one can do almost anything in life to achieve fame and fortune. And if lots of people want to see one doing this thing, then you can achieve fame and fortune. And that is what is important about what one does. Not the activity, but only if people want to see one doing this activity. So if people want to see one playing football or see one playing tennis, and are willing to spend their time and money to watch one doing this thing, then that is what is important in life. And that is why it is worth devoting one's life to kicking a ball into a net or hitting a ball over a net. It seems a silly thing to devote one's entire life to doing. But it isn't silly if it entertains people If people want to see one doing this thing, that is what makes it important. And that is why it is worthwhile to devote one's life to being a football player or a tennis player. Because people want to see one doing these activities, doing these sports. And if people want to see one doing it, then that's what makes it worthwhile. Not the activity itself. So kicking a ball into a net is not an important activity, it is not a useful activity, but people want to see one doing it. That is what makes it significant and worthwhile to devote one's entire life to. And I think it's strange to realize this, that what one does for a living or to achieve fame and fortune is not important. What is important is if people want to see one doing this thing, then it becomes worthwhile and is worth the effort. And to devote one's life to kicking a ball into a net might seem to be silly, but it isn't silly because millions of people want to see one kicking a ball into a net. I think it's very interesting to realize that what one does in life to achieve fame and fortune is not important. It doesn't matter what one does. It doesn't matter if it's pointless. What matters is if people want to see one doing this thing, then it becomes important. And then it becomes worthwhile. I do think that's interesting.